What's your definition of a real man?
Bottom line for me, I think one word of a man for me.
Not one word, just you give it. How
My definition?
Describe it. Yeah, if you was describing it to the young guys out here.
Someone who can take accountability. Accountability for me is big. A lot of people throw rocks and hide their hands. You know, one thing for me in my life I stand on, whether I've done good or bad, is the truth and accountability. I can live with accountability, and then everything else falls under that. You know, for me is, if you're accountable, you're gonna do the right thing to make sure you got a roof over your head. If you're accountable, you're gonna make sure your children are fine and you're raising them up and teaching them. Not just the basics, but we're teaching them finances, and we're teaching them how to love and be social. We're teaching them everything. So if you're accountable, I believe that defines a man for me.
So, think about the foundation, the first 7 to 10 years of your life.
Okay.
Who were the like top 2 or 3 men that poured into you what a man is?
Okay.
The first remembrance of the strong male figure in your life.
The strongest male figure I've ever met in my life. Rest in peace, Mr. Dozier. He was the football coach from McKenzie.
Okay.
And it was just the whole package of Mr. Dozier. I didn't even have a beard yet. I wanted a beard because he had a beard, and it goes back to accountability, because I was a knucklehead, and he made me be accountable. You know what I mean? When I bumped into Mr. Dozier, he was the football coach from McKenzie, but for me, he was the football coach at Boysville, a youth training facility. And that's where I bumped into him at.
Oh, yeah?
When I was in a boys' youth training facility. Mm-hmm. You know, I spent a lot of my life there first. Mm-hmm. Just from bumping my head over and over and not wanting to be accountable and not taking responsibility.
How old were you?
I did Boysville in Monroe from, I want to say 13 to 17.
So I'm talking about before 10, single digits.
Before 10, there was no one. I grew up in a single mother house. Mm-hmm. I'm the youngest of 6 siblings, but we're generations apart. So it was like I was the only child. I mean, like me being 48, my brother 55, my sister 6. We're generations apart. We have nothing in common. And my mom didn't have a steady dude in our house who poured. I come from the slums of the number street, so it wasn't no money for no let's go play football. We throwing rocks on the train tracks and things of that. So
what about the men, the strong male figures in the community, like on the block? Do you remember?
I couldn't even.
You didn't pay attention to them?
They wasn't there. They wasn't there. No, they wasn't there.
They wasn't talking to you.
You know, even my uncles, they were deep in the streets. So I don't look at that as a strong foundation, because that's the path I didn't want to take. You know, so I went to school. So, because for me, like I say, not just accountability, it's being able to be responsible and take care of your family and do the right thing and not catch unnecessary charges and go to jail. Don't get pulled away from your family on purpose. Now, stuff happens, shit happens. I might get pulled away, but not on purpose.
If you had the opportunity to get into sports or some type of after school activity as an elementary and middle school, do you think you would have ended up in, well, we never know, but do you think that would have slimmed your chances of going to like the little boys' home?
I doubt it for me, because for me, life was like totally different for somebody else. And I say that to say, I wrote a book, and it's called Countdown to Freedom. And when I tell people that title, they're thinking I was free and I was locked up and I was doing my countdown to freedom, but it's the opposite. I didn't get free until I went inside. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense.
You don't. Explain it to me.
You know,
Explain it to me. Because if I think jail, I'm thinking no freedom in jail.
you're only going to do two things in prison.
Okay.
You're going to become the best you or the worst you. But it's going to be you. It ain't going to be nobody else. You're going to be influenced by people or whatever. But you're going to be the best you or the worst you. And prison for me, it forced me to be still with my thoughts. I couldn't run away. I couldn't hide behind a gold chain. I couldn't hide behind bottles popping in the club. I couldn't hide behind music and a facade. So I didn't get free until I went inside. So it's strange you say that because I played ball after Boysville. I ended up graduating. I ended up going to college. I ended up going to Alabama State after the youth training, not before. I didn't see my strong male structure until Mr. Dozier, Mr. Blackwell, and Mr. Hurst.
Okay.
Each one of them played a pivotal part.
What are some of the things that they were doing for you to pour into you that you remember, like jewels they gave you that you still got?
Mr. Dozier was not only my football coach, he was also my counselor. So he tried to be a liaison between the system where I was and my home life, which was beautiful, Then Mr. Blackwell, he was a small frame, no nonsense kind of guy. He had a sense of humor, but he wasn't a joke. You know what I mean? So if you tried to do something to be slick, because I was very manipulative, they called me out on it. And that were the things, and not only just calling me out, I was forced to do cognitive thinking. I was forced to empathize with the other man. Sympathy and empathy, them two different things. I didn't know that until bumping into them. So yeah, definitely.
So they got you thinking about being more responsible
yes.
when it comes to how you relate with other folks around
yes.
you.
Yes.
So, other than, that journey went for how long? The football with them. Your next role models.
My next were, I would say.
So we talking about 18 and up now.
18. I had my first kid when I was 22. Like I say, I was a.
What are the men in your life that's?
I was such a. Boy, God is something else. I was such an arrogant asshole. Let me explain it to you. I was destined for greatness. Even though I come out of the slums, the way it was set up, I was destined for greatness. I played ball at the same time that Kwame Kilpatrick was coming out. I was going into college. I played in the era of Jerome Bettis and whatever. So my name was spoken among the greats. Arrogant, didn't really care about the studies and the learning. I knew I was gonna play ball. I did a trial for, back then it was the Houston Oilers. I had the Denver Broncos looking at me, blew my knee out. It always take me back to Tupac, niggas is hard to kill on my block, that's the dumbest shit ever, because I thought the same thing. I come back too early, long story short, blew it out and never could come back. So me who was planning to be the football star, I ended up having, because I was on a full ride, athletic, but by me blowing my knee, they ended up swapping me out for academic, and I ended up having to get a degree in child development, social work. I didn't like kids. I never dealt with kids, but I'll show you how God worked 25 years later. You know what I mean? So I didn't give anybody a chance, bro, because I had that chip on my shoulder from coming out of the slums, not knowing who my father was, doing it on my own. I ain't getting no. If they were around, I missed that bus. I might have let a lot of my blessings go by, because it was survival of the fittest, and do what you got to do for you. And that's my gift and curse, because that affects me now to this day.
Let me ask you this: do you think your energy and your presence said to the older men that was around you, don't even say nothing to that little nigga? Or do you think they were saying something you just wasn't listening?
I wasn't listening. A lot of OGs was dropping jewels, I wasn't picking them up.
Okay. Why you think you wasn't? Because you believe you knew
it
more
wasn't
than them?
At some point, at some point, you know, but just rebellion and thought I had it all
Right,
figured
you're
out.
20 years old, you knew more than 40-year-olds.
Who been through it? Yeah, exactly. Twice. So yeah, it was just smelling your own ass, just bucking, trying to, you know.
We see a lot of that. Right?
A lot of it now. A lot of
way more than then.
The difference now and then when we were coming up, they don't have no patience.
It's reasons.
They take the top off immediately.
Yeah. It's a lot getting fed to them to
of course
think that way. We didn't. So you were born in 74?
75.
75.
Yeah.
Okay, you was born in 75. So that means your first 10 years of life in the land that we live, you was that first 5, ain't no hip hop, ain't no crack. Yeah. And then your last 5 in your single digits, this hip hop thing came, this crack came.
I remember the birth of hip hop. I remember the Reagan era. My mama ran the Blind Pig. Yeah. You know, my mama was the gangster in my life. I didn't know my father. So everything I learned, mama told me. Mama showed me how to cook crack. Mama showed me how to what a spoliote was. You know, that's how I learned. I had to grow up fast, real fast. At 11 and a half, 12, I was shot 3 times on Grand River at CNTs. So my life wasn't like even normal. You know, I even have a thing with my boss. You know, if I go in and I got a limp or whatever, he's like, oh, you're young, you'll be over. And I tell him all the time, I say, no, I'm 48 urban years, not suburban years. These different. You gotta add some time on mine. It's different. Because I wasn't just on the porch. It's different. Outside. I was outside. And if you wasn't outside, I was coming to make you come outside so we could be outside on some nonsense. You know what I mean? So it took a couple stitches and lumps and knocks across the head in order to get the big picture. Yeah. I was a fool at one point.
Yeah. And I get it because I listen a little bit. I need to prove to myself what I can do. You see what I'm saying? So where I moved and things I did, I just wanted to show myself.
Yeah. Self-gratification.
I'm gonna move around this. I'm free.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm gonna do what I want to do around this. And as a kid, I would think that. But what I seen and what you seen is still in line, right? Because I'm born in 72.
Okay.
So we seen this generation go from, we seen the influences of society and how that shaped us. Because we particular, right? The people that's older than us didn't view, they wasn't teenagers. No. My mother wasn't a teenager when crack hit.
No, she wasn't. She was
my mother ended up smoking crack.
Oh, wow.
You feel me? Because that was their generation of getting high and doing what's new. Right. You feel me?
Right.
So, but I'm a teenager and I'm seeing this happen. And it's my generation, the only ones that really felt that. And the ones that live in Detroit, they felt it.
We felt it hard.
We seen what happened together.
I was a part of the problem of what happened. So I not only did I see it on the outside, I seen it on the inside. So I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, if the 20-year-old would have knew what the 40-year-old me knew, I would have never did some of the things I did because I knew better. So when you say I had to prove to myself, I can second that. I can second that.
Yeah. And because I was outside.
Because I was outside.
So, and the people that I'm outside with, I love them.
Yeah, we outside.
We outside together.
We outside. Yeah. It wasn't what they doing today.
Yeah. It's the side they doing it.
Yeah, but they get to the point they
doing it, but they doing it. We didn't have.
I don't think we were rolled.
Social media and video games that was just saying kill, murder. You feel me? I just got through talking to Herc, and we was just talking about how we used to have to sneak to listen to Richard Pryor and
Eddie Murphy, Delirious, and
Playboy magazine.
Now it's in the end.
What? They can get porn. A little kid could just type it in.
I went inside in 2003.
Okay.
I come home in 2013. It's a decade. That's a generation.
Wait. Say that again.
I went in 03.
How old were you?
I was what was I? 26, 27?
You was born in 75?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because my mama had just died.
Yeah.
She died before I went in. Because I was thanking God that she didn't see me go in, because that would have broke her heart anyway. And when I went in, it was boost. Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
When I come home, I remember my sister picked me up. We riding down the street. I saw the world, literally, because I'm looking out the window. I ain't been out looking out the window. And the world was like this. And I asked her, I said, well, why everybody looking down? What they doing? She said, oh, they looking at their phone. I said, so everybody getting a call at the same time? She said, oh no, these smartphones. And then she got me one. And I didn't think they were so smart. I think it just dumbed down everybody. It gave everybody a sense of urgency to hurry up now. So in 10 years, I watched that change. And then to watch just from last.
Because it was in your mid to late 30s, too, when you got up, right?
Yeah. Yep, I was in my 30s.
But
even when I went in,
you was in your late 20s when you were in.
When I went in.
Right, and when you got out.
I was in my late 30s.
You said 10 years, right?
Yeah, 10 years later.
It was like 37, 38.
About 37, 38, yeah.
Right, so.
I got out right before my birthday.
29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. You was inside, and
the world was still moving.
It was going, and it was going at Mach speed.
Yeah, the fast pace.
But you what?
No, I was stuck on the last thing that put me in that spot.
Which was a good thing, though.
Exactly. I didn't get tarnished by the stuff that.
Not quickly.
Not quickly.
It got us all.
Yeah, it got us all. But I didn't get. Yeah. But then by the time I did get it, I had already got it though.
Yeah.
By the time I did get it, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I tell you, I still roll Android. Everybody, why you ain't got no iPhone? So I don't have no app business. What I need it for.
Do you think that, because I call it the world, right? Because it's www.
Yeah.
World Wide Web,
yeah.
Right? So, biblically, or whenever you say worldly, or thinking like the world, to be able to see what's going on in the world, it's so attractive. We want to see. It's a little different than hold your head up and just looking around. That's the difference between us then, because us then, we mind our own business. We understood what was going on in our community. We might hear about some shit that's on the news when we come in at night to see the news, but it ain't really, we wasn't exposed to all the bull that's going on everywhere.
But is it
distractions? We really were paying attention to what was going on around us in our community, because we didn't have no choice. You have to know where a payphone at.
Yeah.
Like that, it's something like that. I need to know where a payphone at, and I need a couple quarters, because I'm over here.
Yeah, I got to keep them on me at all times.
Because I'm in the neighborhood where that's what I need. I need some quarters in a working payphone, because it might go down. We talk about teenage. It wasn't this as a teenager, and seeing everything that's going on everywhere else. Soon as we take the phones down, we're in our real world.
But because see, even with the phone and seeing it, whatever, I think that falls on the character of a person or who you are and what you've been through. Because nothing nobody doing can influence me to do nothing.
No, but everything, you don't have to be on social media at all.
Yeah.
And your head's still down. Because you ain't got to go to the library and go through the table of contents, because you can Google it.
Right.
If you want, you ain't got to go to the mall.
Right.
You can order it.
Right.
You ain't got to go to Kmart's to get a ring light. You can just...
Insta life.
People ain't calling you on the phone. They texting you.
Yeah.
Like, the whole life, they made it where we can't even pay bills sometimes without... They done conditioned us.
Yeah.
It's very smart. It's getting we become dependent on it. We lose our phones.
Oh, you do. Your whole life in there.
What?
But we understand that's by design why you looking down so you can't see what the hell they doing up at the top. We understand that.
Do you understand it if you're 10 years old?
No. You have to.
Now you're 10 and you got parents that's in their 30s around the time when you was getting out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to raise a 10-year-old right now in this. How do they do it? How do we keep them focused or unplugged from or is it just too late and we need to figure out how
No, I don't even think it's unplugging them, because one thing I love is evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has some good into it until you abuse it. There's good in this smart if you use it the way it's supposed to be used. There's good in it. I don't think you unplug it. I think you learn it as they learn it, and you adjust it and tweak it into the ways that you know that can be a positive. If you put $1 million in the crackhead's hand, you just killed him, right? You just killed him. So I would rather ration him $1,000 a month with a bit of counseling and whatever, and talking to him, or just being his friend, and just giving that $1 million at all times. So I think we join in instead of unplugging them. And that's why I love me, because I don't think I'm too far from them. I'm like right in the middle. I ain't no young cat, and I ain't no old guy where they can't respect. I still know your language. I still walk like you, but I don't think like you anymore.
Right.
So that's what makes it a beautiful thing. But I don't think we unplug. I think we join. I think we learn. And I think that's what's wrong with our group and above. We quick to want to take something from them instead of learning. We quick to say, do, as I say, not as I did, because I did it and I'm telling. Yeah, that don't work. It didn't work for me, it ain't work for my daddy, whoever you were, it didn't work for it. That don't work. You have to join in. You have to figure it out. You have to ride next to them. You have to be loyal, and both of y'all have to be held accountable for whatever happens. Good, bad, and ugly. You have to take it. You gotta take your losses just like your wins. You can't just take your wins like this and then get your losses, and now it's a little different. No, you gotta figure them out. Rehash a new plan. It's not. I don't think it's that hard. I think people, we make it hard.
Do that as a man? Do that ever stop? Really? Like, do we ever stop going through stuff? As long as we live
No.
going through life.
It's lessons.
And what life brings from society. We gotta adjust, because it's go constantly, as long as people inventing stuff,
but
as long as people tearing down stuff, and some building up, as long as we're a part of it. In our community, I choose to do certain things, but I'm still in the same place with my community. I'm not with people in Atlanta. I'm not with people with China. I'm not. This is my home. So what we going through politically, what we going through with the kids, where their mind is at, I have to. It's going to affect my energy. Even if I just go to the stove, it's going to affect my energy.
I agree.
And if I want to help them understand that we can match anywhere, but home should be. We should feel like home now. This World Wide Web got us so that we don't really understand. We can make a difference right where we at.
I totally agree with you. I've always, I play the lottery. I'm pretty good with it. I do okay with the lottery, and I'm always blessed right here. I don't believe I should give my money to Purple Heart. I don't think you have to wash my money first, Purple Heart, before you go figure out who you gonna bless. I know how to walk right next door, and I'm around here. I see what's going on around here. So I totally agree. And you mentioned ATL. That's one thing I love about Atlanta. I've been there 100 times. They stay there. Like the superstars and all, they stay right there, and they take care of what's going on right there. And I agree with you. I love it here. I've been everywhere, but I always end up right back here.
This home.
This home.
Right. Out of all those places you've been, which one you want to prosper the most? Home.
Home. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I want us to win, and then if it's some crumbs that fall off
How
the
do
table.
we win?
I don't know. Everything always leads back. I think everybody just gotta stop lying to themselves and each other. It all leads back, and I'm gonna say this word 1,000 times before you leave: accountability. And accountability to me sums up everything. I think we lie about what's happening. We lie about each other. Your mama lied to you about some things, and you just take it because you love your mother. That you got to kill off everything you used to know and rebirth yourself and obtain knowledge. Like if you research something, cross-reference it again, and cross-reference it again, and it all comes back the same, that tends to be a fact. Not what Coolio said over here. You know, my brother did a book, and it's called Stop Listening to Folks, Do Your Own Research. And that alone, you just have to do it, because we quick to do this. Nobody does this, bro. Who does this? If something fall right now, me and you walking at the same time, we both gonna look at each other like, who did? Nobody's looking like, dang, did I do that? Nobody wants to be accountable. And I think once we become accountable, and everybody, if you take care of home front, you can play in anybody's backyard. You can't be jumping over the gates and stuff and you ain't took care of what's going on here. You can't go out over there and tell them folks what needs to be done, or suggest or make statements if yours ain't together. So if you held accountable and you be the man that you say you is, you'll be fine.
So the men in the city of Detroit, if they're held accountable, and we look at the city like, no, this is our city for real. Because we here, wherever we at. But it's look, we have to be held accountable.
But it's chess, not checkers now. If you want to play that game, far as you know, this is ours.
If you say start at home,
yeah,
but outside of home,
yeah,
we do have some accountability to the women and the kids.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm a father too. I got a daughter and a son with 2 granddaughters.
And I have to have some accountability to them. And they not mine, they're yours.
Yeah.
Because I know you. Now, I'm accountable. If I ever see, you feel me, see them anywhere, then I'm accountable for, and I need to be like that for all of.
But, and that's why I say, if we start inside, it'll pour right on out.
Yeah.
Because we all holding each other accountable.
Yeah. But how do we get the younger men to first own it within themselves?
Ooh, that's gonna be a difficult one. That's where you have to.
Where the mindset have to be at to be a young man that say, I'm gonna mind my own business?
That's a question you have to ask a young man who living like they living. I don't think like these guys today. I don't know what demon time is. I don't think like that. So that's a question for them. But for me, I don't shy away from none of them, man. I like I said, I talk to them, I reach out. You know, I have to.
That's you playing your part.
Yeah, I have to let the spirit pull me where I need to be. You know what I mean? Because everybody don't deserve it, because everybody don't want it.
And you know that because?
I know that because at some point in time, I didn't want it. And I didn't deserve it. And they slapped me over the head with it and wasted their time till they were blue in the face. And I didn't get it until I got it. Not when they wanted me to get it. Not harboring it. Oh, I'm gonna stick with Mr. Blackwell said in the back, and then 20 years I'm gonna use it. No, I did what the heck I wanted to do and lived how I lived. And then when enough was enough, enough was enough. So I don't know how they thinking. they better hope that God let them go through karma where they can learn. Because for me, karma's not a bad thing. Karma's a good thing if you can make it through it. You know what I mean? I know a guy been shot one time in the leg and he dead. One time in the leg. That mother hit that artery, he dead. I'm sitting here 5 times and I'm talking to you. Because I'm going through my karma. Because it's something I'm supposed to be doing. You ain't just here because today is Saturday. The universe, the energy has sent you this way. It all happened for a reason. So after all of this is said and done, then I have to go sit and analyze and understand what exactly my next move is. Because I'm accountable for every step of what goes on in my life. And like I said, I couldn't tell you what the majority of them want because I don't do what they do. That's where the lines get blurred at. You know what I mean?
Right. I believe, me personally, I have a theory. I don't see God as like a ghost type. You know what I'm saying? I see the word. I take the word God as the only thing we have agreed on, that 3-letter word that means the undescribable. Like it can't be described. Like so we just gonna say God. Or some people put names on it, but it's still a force that's really, how it really works. Trying to really describe it, it's no words to even to talk about the masses of. So what I do is I take it for what it is, and I say, how would God talk to me? How would I know His voice? And one thing that I know that is,
I mean,
they make it to our age if they keep burning the candle at both ends.
No way, sir.
Is that how it works? If I make a whole bunch of crazy, ridiculous decisions based upon some shit I've seen on the internet, will I get to be 50 and still?
No, because everybody's not lucky enough to go through karma, my brother. One shot can take you out.
Anything.
Everybody's not blessed enough to go through karma. See, the universe, I would say, because the word God, it has a meaning in Hebrew, and I don't use it. If you want to talk about the universe, it gives and it takes away. It allows you to sit right here. I got an old slogan. I done been 2 hours away from being the richest dude I knew and 2 hours away from being the poorest. I done been on both sides, bro. I done had a 9 to 5 and I've been the 9 to 5. So I know He gives and takes it away. But life gave me experiences and teachings that nothing and no one could have ever gave me, right? Not to say those experiences and teachings were great.
Right.
I got a bunch of stitches here, zippers here, but I was blessed enough to go through karma to heal up and come back. Everybody ain't gonna get that chance. So life and experience, I'm fine with having a room of 40 people and only one person getting it. I'm fine with that. I don't need 39 of y'all to get it because I know you're not gonna get it. It's a narrow path and we all ain't going on it. So I'm not trying to save the world, but I take a few people out of it. I'm good in my own world. When I decided to become who I am today, I lost everything. Everybody. I'm talking about I woke up to nothing. Bank account clean, everybody gone. I was the life of the party, but when I decided and I told my wife, party over. It disappeared, but it opened my eyes. I don't got time to play. We finna fake love it. We finna pull up nowhere we ain't supposed to be. I'm not finna waste my time. I'm not finna waste your time. It's over. The world is at the end. Who playing? I ain't playing. It's over. You better get right with your God, your universe, your Elohim, your whoever, your Allah, your temple, yourself, because it's over. So who all coming better come on. I don't have the luxury and the time and the privilege to convince you that it's over. So that's what I would say to the youth. Either get over here or don't get over here. But take it from somebody who been over there. I was a #1 draft pick for the Devil, man. I was a starter for every year I played for him. I went to the Hall of Fame every year I played for him. But didn't get nothing.
The Hall of Fame.
Yeah, didn't get nothing.
You got something.
So I'm like, well, you know what?
Shit.
All these bruises and I ain't talking about the bruises you can see. Because those we licked and got over. But I got some you can't see that I can never heal from. So when I decided, okay, wait a minute, we're gonna learn to tolerate and deal with what we got and make it work. And now we're gonna cut this game out and go over here. And man, I should have got over here earlier.
Let me ask you something. Just on some hood PTSD, and we know when you suffer from PTSD, it's not something like, okay, I'm healed from it. I don't have to deal with it no more. That ain't how PTSD work. No. It's a part of your psychology going forward.
It should make that.
What are some of the things you do to keep you centered?
For me, working out was everything for me. That was how I released everything. Anybody that knows me will tell you I was one of the strongest unassisted Michigan guys at one point in my late 20s and early 30s. The very thing I love was also killing me. You can see my veins are very visible. They're rollers. So by me lifting and being a power lifter, and I never took steroids or anything, it will open my veins and rush the blood. And now I suffer from congested heart failure. So he was like, either you lift weights and die, which I love because that was the only thing I had to take my frustrations out, or you figure out something else. So for me, it was always weightlifting and working out, and I didn't know what a sweet tastes like till I met my wife. I never had a donut, a honey bun, and nothing until I met her. She got me almost to 400 pounds at one point. I swear, I'm not kidding, bro.
Give you the sweet.
Man. So
once you stopped using that, what did you?
I became destructive. I'm a recovering alcoholic.
What do you use to center yourself?
Now?
Yeah.
I'm a workaholic.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, bro.
Like when you feeling that PTSD.
I pray hard.
Okay.
I cry a lot.
Cry.
I cry a lot.
Right.
Man, listen here, man. I'm not afraid to tell nobody.
Right.
I get in that shower, man, stick that towel in my mouth, and nobody's here, and I just go for it because I need a release because I'm not 29, 30. I can't go put 400 on the bench no more. I can't do that. Like I said, those people that were around with the fake love for what I can do for them, they ain't around no more. So I don't have no vent, no punching bags, no misery love company. So I pray and I thank God, and like I say, I cry, and my wife and I, man, we've been through a lot.
Was that like crying and praying? Was that something hard to do as a youth?
Yeah. I grew up in the streets like everybody else.
Right.
But I come around.
So the way you relieved it then is
I act out.
Yeah.
I was aggressive.
Yeah.
I was a monster.
Football.
Yeah, I was destructive. I tore up everything I touched.
To get it out.
But didn't recognize then
Right.
because I didn't know about cognitive thinking. I didn't know about behavior. I didn't know about deceiving Freud. I didn't know about none of that.
Should have been taught that in school.
Oh man, we should be taught a lot.
In elementary.
We should be taught finances. We should be taught the truth about everything instead of fed all these lies and only the 1% know the truth about everything.
Do you think Detroit will be able to be on the other side of the tracks of where the whole city is just, we know it's an inner city, so you gotta have the board, but where we take a little more pride in our space, if the schools were better, like if the schools really were progressive and innovative and really start teaching some of the stuff, like we said, more mind, body, soul. And
I think when you say schools, if you're saying schools in your aspect, I think it's the wrong school we're teaching our children with.
okay.
If we're going to teach them with school, yeah, the right schooling, not the curriculum that was made up for dummies 0 through 12. No, that's not the curriculum I want my grandkids to learn, because it's not the truth. It doesn't apply to nothing.
Teach you how to be a
slave. It's teaching you how to be a obedient slave.
Stay in the system that they created.
Period. That's why the plant is the plant. That's why they call it the plant, because it's the plantation. That's why you run to bells every lunch. No. But if we're going to hold everybody accountable, then we got to give them the right lesson they want to learn. These kids don't have an attention. Right. Yeah, they don't have an attention span past a minute, because what are we teaching them?
What is it that we can teach them to get their attention span back stronger?
It's a spot right here on Harper. I want to say Cubale. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. They have
Cabalon Village.
Yeah, they have a nice. They have a nice program. Things of that nature, I would say. It's a brother named Cardon. He's right on Van Dyke. He has a barber shop. He let the kids come in and learn how to cut and whatnot. That type of stuff. Teaching them the right stuff that they need, tools.
Whose responsibility is that? Is it the government?
No, I think that's ours. I think.
When you say ours?
Ours, the men that's making the workers. I don't think it's my wife's job to raise my son. At a certain part, she's done with nurturing my son. It's time for me to nurture my son so he can be a man. That's what's wrong now. That's why a lot of them are a little sweet and a little sassy, because the mama still raising him and he's still at home and he's about 25 years old. That don't work for me. So we, the men makers, are responsible for that. And it don't cost a lot of money. It's more of your time than anything. It don't cost no money. And you have to be satisfied with only getting one person who can learn the lesson out of the 40 that's in the room. I'm satisfied with this one guy getting it, because he gonna tell somebody else. He gonna tell 40 more people, and one might get out of his class. Who gonna tell 40 more people? So I'm good with that. I'm not trying to get all the 40, because all the 40 don't want it. I'm not gonna talk until I'm blue in the face and die, and you ain't got it. You can get a room full of people and look around that room and see who you done caught. Oh, got her. Oh, got him. I can put a little more time into her, a little more time into him.
Now if my pride says I'm supposed to get all 40.
Oh man, good luck. I think that's false pride. I think that's not realistic. I don't think that's realistic. Now, it's okay for you to think that.
That pride of mine.
Don't confuse false pride with pride.
Oh, right, okay.
It's two different.
Explain.
Yeah, false pride is what you're saying, now, it's 40 in there, I can get them all. The belief, because Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. That's a law. So the belief and the facts are two different. You'll believe I can get 40, but the facts, all 40 ain't coming. So you have to be okay to meet in the middle. You have to be okay. In that middle might be that one. It ain't got to be 20. It might be that one. Because we got to think realistically. And in order for them to be accountable, and we want them to be realistic, we have to show them what that look like. My daughter, I love her to death. For years, she said, Dad, you mean. Oh, you mean? Why you so mean on me? Why you so hard on me? I said, why you think that? I said, why? Because I'm direct and I'm to the point. I don't lie to you. I don't go around the corner to get across the street. You do this, this is what's going to happen. When it happens, you come back, I'll let you know I told you. I told you. Yeah, I might help you clean it up or whatever. And Lord knows I hope you learn from it. But yeah, we all got to be accountable, man. Yeah. Don't cost no money. Don't cost no money.
Accountability. I know you keep saying that.
That's a hell of a word.
Yeah.
If you take that word, you can get shirts and whatever, print that word up and just leave that word there. That word will spark a lot of conversation, because
so that's something we can do.
Accountability means so much to all of us. It's a whole different conversation, but it's all going to end back up to one.
What's the difference between a grown man's fun and a boy's fun?
F-U-N or F-U-N-D?
F-U-N.
a boy's fun and a grown man's
type of stuff we
fun.
used to do that we thought was fun and to let stress off, and that's different than when we grown. So you was talking about different ways to get centered, but having fun sometimes
I think
is something that can be, you feel me? Because we still, as grown men, we still supposed to be having fun.
I think a boy is still in a grown man, right? A grown man can turn his boy on and off. A boy can never turn on his grown man. So that boy is always in that grown man. That grown man was never in that boy. So you don't turn off the fun. You just know when and where the fun is supposed to be turned on.
That's what I was asking. What's the difference between just the mindsets?
Well, the mindset is
Yeah.
development, experience. The brain hasn't developed fully to even be cognitive of what's right or wrong. That's what juvenile life. 8-year-old killed somebody. You want me to throw him away forever? He don't even know what happened. The 10-year-old killed his mother because she wouldn't buy him a video game. You think he know what happened? But if I was 50, I should know what happened. So I don't think it's a different fun. Per se.
Name some of the fun that's different. Name some things that grown men do for fun that young guys don't do, and vice versa. What are some of the
That they're supposed to do, or
that we actually see?
They're doing the same stuff. They're the same. You can't even decipher from what. The grown men, we're not out there with them. We're not doing it. So you see a guy. You know, I used to tell my wife all the time. I used to hate to see a guy in his 30s with a jersey and braids. He had braids to the back in his 30s, and he got a jersey on. Because he's never turned on his grown man. He's a first thing somebody say to you, say something to a dude or whatever, man, fuck that, I'm a grown ass man. You know, I used to tell him all the time, no, you're not. You're just an old ass boy. You're just an old boy. You didn't learn. Mistakes are going to happen. Failure is going to happen. Trials, tribulations is going to happen. It's life. What'd you learn from it? If you don't learn from it, that's insanity. What'd you learn? No matter what, if me and you right now get into it, right? Just say we just get into a hypothetical. I'm not looking at what you did to me. First thing I'm looking, the latter me, the younger me, I'm looking at, it's on the floor. First thing I'm like, dang man, what could I do to bring that down? Or what did I say to trigger fam like that? Why he get like that? That's me now, because I'm accountable for my action. There's nothing more scary than controlled chaos. I'm what they call controlled chaos. When they can't figure you out, they know what you're capable of, but they can't figure you out. There's nothing more stronger than that. And then you in sound mind, sound body, and you're accountable for all your actions, so you ain't out here acting the fool, doing buffoonery shit. And they know that. That's where the fear and the respect come in. They like, oh yeah, because if he do come out, I know it was a just cause for him to come out, and I know we in trouble. Because he's accountable for all his stuff. And he ain't bothering nobody. So the men don't know the same fun that the old boys and the young boys are having. I don't do what they do anymore. Now when I was out there, I can tell you every bit of it. Oh yeah, man, we doing this, we doing it. But I never overstayed my welcome anywhere. I wasn't 30 in the club unless I was promoting it or working it. You know, you just gotta know better, and like I said, it started with you have to check you. Don't let me check you. You gotta be self-checked. Can't nobody check you better than you. I don't know you better than you. You know when you done done some dumb ass shit. Well, I got to tell you done done some dumb shit. Oh man, that was stupid. You already knew it. Your soul already was queasy and told you it was stupid before I even said something. So you have to be accountable for your shit, and everything else will fall into place. And if it don't, I'm fine with you not getting it. Time out, get him out of here, let the next player in who want to get it. I'm good with that. I ain't gonna waste my time beating a dead horse. If you don't want it, you ain't getting it. And I don't think we put here for everybody to get it. I think that's why so many, and that's why everybody have a different gift and a different talent, because you reach one, each one teach one in a different way, not all the same way. The way my mom was teaching me math worked for me, it might not work for you. You gotta understand what's the subject you're trying to reach first. So a lot of those questions be channeled at who you're trying to reach. So we have a panel with like 5 boys, 5 girls, ranging from 10 to 18. And those same questions will be asked to them, with notes taken, cross-reference. And then we'll know exactly what we need to create to touch those same people. Because I can't have a 401k plan and you never seen it, and I expect you to tell me what's going on with my Fidelity fund or whatnot. But if I talk to you, hey, 401k, hey, what's that? I've never heard of that, and we break that down and woo. Now I can expect you gonna show, it might not be, you ain't gonna show your father or whoever down the street, somebody gonna learn from you.
And you might get a job, and because you know about it, you asking them, y'all got 401k?
Yeah.
Why you ain't tell me?
Yeah.
Or they say it to you, and you know what it means.
You know what they talking about.
Instead of be like, I ain't finna get y'all no money on my check every
week. They
week.
talking about Aflac.
I don't care if you finna match my shit. Ain't no 401k. I want my money. Nah, I'm not even gonna put no money in it because you don't understand it. That if we could make money.
If we could definitely do something.
Yeah.
I'm all for it,
Yeah.
but they gotta want it to be done, because you can build so many charter schools, you can build so many community centers, you can build so many rec centers. The world is not charter school, community center, rec center. Everything's in the house, like you said.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out how to hit them where they are already at.
I think the difference between a boy's fund and a man's fund is how much time we spend on fun. Boys want, because once the fun stop, the work start.
I agree.
They don't want to work. They want to have fun way more in a day.
But see, I agree to a certain extent.
We might want to, but we gotta go to work.
But and see, that's where we're gonna differ. Because if you wait 1 second,
Yeah.
our generation and our time, we didn't have the same amount of young millionaires as they have today. They're afforded a lot more fun than we were at the same age. A young boy fund today and a young boy fund of '89 is totally different.
They having fun getting money.
They haven't, and they're getting a lot of it.
So when you having fun getting while you working,
So it's different.
you find that work.
Bill Cosby said, if you find something you love to do and get paid for it, you never worked a day in your life. That's Bill Cosby. So I can't compare. It's like apples and oranges because it's different time and different generation. You have to be cool with evolution. I'm cool with him being 21-year-old millionaire, but how do I reach you from this time?
You gotta work.
He's working.
Yeah.
But his working ain't, I've been working on the rail. That ain't his working. His working is influence, Instagram, his phone. They different. It's all of this. He never had to leave the house, and he's a millionaire. So it's different. And he could be a
He still
man.
can't do that lazy.
No, it's still work to be done. You still got to put in the work, but it's not backbreaking work. It's not.
So I think the boys with the boy mentality, they're not thinking about work at all. They thinking about fun. They think about fun. When I was a kid, I thought like a kid. I understood like a kid. I reasoned like a kid. When I became a man, I put away childish things because, and the childish things is
stuff that don't make sense.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through these principles, man. It's 9 principles. They broke down 333, like you seen the channels. It's 3 channels. It's 3 principles per channel, and then so it's really 9 channels total. But right off the rip, I'm gonna say the principle.
Okay.
if you just get it and you agree, you'll be like, okay, I agree, we can keep that on there.
Okay.
If it's something that you have questions about, then you ask questions about it, you know what I mean? And if it's something that you just be like, let's just take that. Then after we run through them, if there's anything you want to add.
Okay.
So because I try to keep it simple for them, because without hitting them with a whole bunch of principles.
Because they don't want to do work.
I thought if we get some core principles, like if you operate in this, it's gonna minimize a lot of struggle in your life. That's the purpose, is to minimize their struggle, right? In the process. If we can, you know what I'm saying? Because if a man got principles, he do eliminate struggles because he's standing on his principles.
Yes, he is.
Right? So principle number 1, the first 3 is about being a man. The next 3, like a husband or
Relationship.
being in a relationship, father. Man, woman, child. Find a way to pay for the space and things that you use. Boys are carried, men stand on their own 2 feet. So think from a boy, the first thing, number 1, we're saying, the first thing you need to be thinking about is, how can you find a way to pay for the space and the things that you use. That means if you live somewhere, it's costing somebody. It costs to live.
So would that be?
So if you're not paying for your living, somebody is paying for it. So can you get the burden off of somebody else first before you? That should be your first goal as a man.
So will we be teaching young boys the value of work ethic?
We'll teach them everything when it comes to the cost of living for self.
Right. I'm saying, like, would that be like the core?
That's number 1 on the principle.
Okay, got you.
Because it's the number 1 rule we want them to understand, that you a bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why you gotta work. If you do this part, can't nobody really tell you shit.
But
when it comes, I'm talking about as in you taking care of yourself, and that's what your attention's at, to figure out how to pay for the space and the things that you use. That mentality separates you from a boy and a man. Just think if you're really older and
I think we will also have
looking for somebody else to take care of you.
They will first have to know the difference between needs and want. See, now they're into glutton. Everything is abundance and everything is instant. There's no way you need 13 pairs of shoes at 18 years old. I could take a pair of your Jordans for $125 and buy you a CD. But if I buy you a CD, that's going to appreciate and teach you how to build your finances.
But if he's paying for it,
I don't.
He stands as a man. He can make that decision.
But see, now you're just the freshest nigga at the bus stop, though.
But
now you fresh.
Even if he at the bus stop, he can still be a man at the bus stop.
But now you in the way.
If he's paying for that bus fare, and if he's paying for where he lives,
we talking about the young man, right?
I'm talking about as a man. Your thoughts. One of the top principles you should have is, let me find a way to pay for the space and the things that I use. I don't want nobody doing that for me. Let me find a way.
Positive way that will not land me in the penitentiary in the grave. It's 100 million ways to make $1. Choose one.
So you would change it to let me find a positive way.
Yes, let me find a positive way
to pay for the space.
To pay for the space and the things that I want.
That I use.
No, I would even change. I would even change the need.
Because your want.
I would change the needs. Because you will use your needs.
Yeah.
So I would change it to needs to keep it to
let me find a positive way to pay for the space and the things that I need.
Yeah, because you're going to use that. Okay. You know what I mean? And that'll sum that up, period. Mm-hmm. Because we're not leaving them anywhere to run the want. Well, I want this, but do you need that? I want that pelly. But You can't tell me this triple fat goose bubble for $40 won't suffice.
What about use?
Well, if you need it, you're gonna use it. A lot of stuff you want, you don't use. Just say you go buy another camera that you just saw at Black Friday. That mug sitting there collecting dust. But that one you needed.
But if I pay for it,
yeah, you might use it once or twice. But that one you needed it when you were struggling.
If I'm using somebody else's, should I pay for it, or should I want to use my own? Should I pay for the space?
Now, see, it's a difference between.
So, yeah, I like need.
It's a difference between using and utilizing.
And it's a difference between use and need.
Yeah,
I could use some stuff.
Yeah.
That I don't need.
But do you need it? Exactly.
Right.
So
but I should be paying for it.
Yeah, definitely paying for it in a positive manner.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be out here doing some stuff you ain't supposed to, because you know it's gonna come with that. You ain't gonna be paying for it long, and then you're gonna damage.
And then
other folks.
I like use instead of misuse.
Yeah.
Misusing it or something.
But
using something for.
We'll go utilizing, because the definition of using, when you use, say if I use you, it's only one of us getting what they deserve or what they want when I'm using you. When I utilize you, we're both are getting our needs met. We're both sharpening each other. It's steel sharpening steel. Using, only one person is getting satisfied. Somebody always.
I don't mind being used. I don't want to be misused.
No, utilize me. Don't use me. Because when you use me, I feel.
Because I might not want nothing back. You feel me? I might want to just give, and you can use me for that.
No, it's utilizing. It's not using you. If you're not looking for nothing, I understand, but the proper text, because you know words are spells. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're spells. So you have, like, it's not okay for me to say, if you say, hey, Doc, I need you to blah blah blah. I say, well, I try. That's not okay, because that's setting me up already to come back and say when I fail, well, I tried. That's a cop-out word. So we want to use the exact words that we want to, that we gonna do. Hey, Doc, I need you to do. I'm on it. I got it done. Now I'm on track, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to get it done. And if I can't, then I'll come back. Hey, I can't do this. You think we can try this together or whatever? Knock this out, so we can get it done. We just want to cut it off. Don't get them because kids are squirmy and manipulative. You get them the door to go out of. They going out of it. They slick, man. They slick. So if you let them play semantics and word games with you, they're going to play them. So you get them right there, and they can't move around.
Utilize and need.
Yep. Using and utilizing. It sounds the same, but it's totally different.
Find a positive way to pay for the stuff that I utilize and need.
Find a positive way to obtain finances to pay for the things that I utilize.
It might not be finances.
What are you gonna get? How you gonna pay for something?
If I was to just say, like, Doc, I'm homeless, bro. I just need somewhere to stay. You like, man, you come stay here for about a month. In that month, you probably wouldn't want me to leave. Because if I don't have anything, as long as I can give service, skills, I can pay for it.
But do that make you feel like a man? We build a man. It makes
me feel like a man. To work for whatever I get.
That's a
would just be.
A man has
work is work. Work is money.
Okay.
If I go get a job,
take that car you got, take it back to the place.
No. I'm giving somebody some work.
Okay.
Because the stuff that I would be giving to you, you're going to pay for it anyway. Somebody else.
But how long would you giving me work sustain me? That's if I lead you toward it.
On the value that you put on the work that I do for you, right?
But what if it's seasonal? That don't sustain me forever. What if that's just seasonal work?
I'm gonna find a way. If I don't have no money, I'm not gonna let you take care of me. So if I can't give you nothing else, I'm gonna give you service, and that's Martin Luther King. If a man can't give anything, service is the price you pay to live. You feel me? So service is currency.
But that's right? As a man.
Yeah. Well, that's as humans.
But that's not.
Work is work.
But we got to put ourselves in the shoes of the young man today. That's not the way he thinking about it. Yeah. First thing he gonna say is, man, Okay, I even put it this way. Remember back in the day, you go to the gas station, you see young boys want to pump your gas, and you go to the grocery store and you want to carry your bag. Show me one right now. They all our age. Because he ain't finna do that.
Right, because they value their time more.
Not even they value their time more, is to the point that's degrading to them. Right. They want everything right now, fast, for no reason. So you have to show them a whole totally different way, and you have to make sure that he know these are the tools for life. I can't bake you the bread, cut you a slice, and give it to you and say, come on in, and I'm gonna cut you this bread for 30 days, and you're gonna be full for 30 days. Well, eventually I'm gonna get tired of cutting that bread. It's best if I teach you how to add your own flour, milk, and yeast, so you can bake bread for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying it's got to be finances, because there's no other way.
Finance is a state of mind, because the actual credit card is just plastic. Paper is just, money is just paper. They don't really have no significance. It's the state of mind that makes these things value. You put value in the state of mind, because it's just plastic. It's just numbers in a computer. But if you don't
tell it to DTE,
I know.
Tell it to Rocky Mortgage.
Right. But it's still about. I don't have to tell them anything if I know how to use my body and my brain in order to just make something go in there.
I mean,
it's called paying bills. I know how to pay bills because I still have to figure out a way to create. I have to work. I have to work at something, even if it's something like.
So how are we paying these bills?
Even my father he on disability, right? He ain't getting no check if he don't fill out the right paperwork and do what he's supposed to do based upon that.
But I bet you a damn to a bucket of shit if your father can go out there and punch a clock for 50 hours, he'll switch it up. I bet you a dime to a bucket of shit that if he can go out there and go to work and slide that card for 50 hours, he'll switch, because it makes him more of a man to go out and not depend on the government for his finances.
And I'm saying, even with that, even something as a check that comes every month, you still have to have the cognitive understanding, and you doing that by yourself. Now, if you get to the point where somebody either have to do that for you, you see what I'm saying? It's you know what I mean? You defeated kind of at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, now we get older, and because the work we put in with relationships, we get taken care of that karma.
Yeah.
But we have to. That's why I say find a way to pay for the stuff, because it's still a like rich dad poor dad type thing. You know what I mean?
But if you tell
it's the mentality. It's how I see what money is. I realize money don't. It's not really real.
See, we know
it's not
that.
really real. It's about what I'm doing with my time.
It's countries now that don't even accept the American dollar. We know the value of a dollar now.
It don't have more value than a day.
It don't have any value whatsoever. So
my days and my time is the curse.
It's priceless.
God give us all the same check.
Yeah. Period.
Everybody get 168 hours a week.
So what you gonna do with it?
So how I manage my time, that 168, I'm gonna get taxed because sleep. I gotta sleep. Some people pay more taxes, some people pay less. It depends on how much you sleep in, you feel me? But whatever I'm doing with my time, that's gonna determine what I get back and why. Right?
So that's why we gotta be doing positive things.
Right.
Because we have to obtain in this world.
I would be living here for 1 month and renovate your whole kitchen. You'd be like, that's good enough for that month. That's value.
But eventually, I'll be like, bro, you gotta go.
I know, but and I would be cool with it. Right? Because we both won. I wasn't no burden.
Yeah, but
you see what I'm saying?
But now hear me out.
I've stayed here like a man.
Now for that's
just the main thing.
30 days.
You would respect me
I definitely
as a man
will.
because I made a man decision while I was here.
I will respect me, but will you respect yourself? Because after them 30 days, when you going?
No, I'm a ghost. If I know how to if I have the understanding enough to even make a decision to renovate your kitchen just to balance out the bill for me staying here and the inconvenience, that means I'm on my shit. I just
But a lot of people
I was
not.
just down for a minute.
Yeah, a lot of people not.
That's why them people wouldn't renovate your kitchen.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand that they are valuable.
Yeah.
I'm the value.
Now it makes sense. Okay.
I'm the value.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And how I move as a man, I'm taking accountability.
But see,
I'm taking. You've been saying it over
yeah,
and over and over.
But how do we get them to that point? They're not at where you are.
No. So we're not on that part. We on it. Do we agree that this principle
Yes.
is
that
it stays? Okay.
Yep.
The second principle is own your responsibilities.
Okay.
So the word responsible, the definition is to fulfill the obligations that's assigned to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I have an obligation as a neighbor, I have an obligation as a father, I have an obligation as an employee, I have an obligation to my health.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to fulfill these obligations. When I don't fulfill them,
mm-hmm.
I'm not responsible in that area.
Yeah.
Did you take the garbage out? No. Then you wasn't responsible in that area. So if I mind my own business,
mm-hmm.
and first I have to fulfill, you said, before I can do anything with anybody else, I need to take care of home
Yeah,
first.
I got to get me first.
So let me figure out because I believe responsibilities are tools that God give us to help us grow a healthy life.
Okay.
We have responsibilities, and if we fulfill these responsibilities, we tell the young men how important fulfilling your the stuff that's the obligations that's assigned to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just do them at your best and let God do the rest.
Now the obligations that's assigned to you under God.
The obligation,
if you born a man, you got to do the responsibility of the man.
as your position.
Yeah, as the man.
Yeah.
If you born a man, you can't be doing responsibility as no woman.
Yeah.
Not society's
the ones that's assigned to you as a man.
as a man under God. We'll say God, because that's what the master's called.
Yeah, but if you had a job,
you know that's what God. That's what God.
And even when I describe God, just to side note, whenever you hear me say God,
mm-hmm.
now I told you how I believe God communicates
mm-hmm.
and how I communicate back to Him.
I agree.
But the way that I describe, I know I said He's indescribable, but if I had to describe Him, His name ain't Jesus.
No.
You right? Because that was a man.
Yeah.
Right? The guy the only way I can describe him is God is that very energy that gives whatever have life, that life.
It's life. I agree.
And so we use the word God, we use the word devil. So the devil to me is that very energy that's trying to take life away from whatever got life, that makes it die. And it's just a description of God is life, the devil is death.
Period.
It's
black, white, up, down.
Even sin to me.
Yeah.
Sin to me is, I got an acronym, self-imploding nature. Mm-hmm. It's that part of me that know I'm going to do something wrong and I can't help myself.
Yeah, that's all to tell you.
I'm doing, that's when you said that earlier. Yeah. It's like, it's sin because I know this is about to mess me up and I'm going to do it anyway. That's what makes it sin.
Yeah.
That's different than me doing something I didn't know and then I learned from it. But if I know I'm for to do a self-imploding nature, I'm just satisfied with the bullshit. You feel me? I know I'm sinning at that point. You know what I'm saying? But, so, owning your responsibilities, stay on.
I'm good.
So now we got those two.
I'm good with all.
Find a way to pay for the split. They're kind of the same.
Yeah, but they different.
That's why they both.
I'm good with them. Yeah, they the same.
The third one, as in him, just us teaching them, just get these 3 principles when it comes to self.
Presentation. Because I was just gonna say hygiene and clothes. Yes. Look like you already winning.
That's it. Present yourself respectable.
Yeah.
Because, and then a little subtitle.
A lot of stuff will fall under that.
It's a subtitle that I got under it is because you are the male. You are the model of strength in your community.
Yes. Okay.
You are. When they see us,
you who they looking
we
at.
the strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we record. We recording the strength of Detroit City.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But you present yourself respectable. Now, the word respect means to give high regard, high consideration, high esteem.
Mm-hmm.
It means, I just love the consideration part. That means I have to consider you. I got to really think about you.
I have to put my feet in your shoes.
So that's what respect.
Yeah, I have to empathize.
They say respect your enemy. Mm-hmm. You better.
You better
Think about how his presence
act
can
like,
have an effect.
Yeah, act like he ain't coming if you want to.
You better consider that.
Yeah.
Consider what he can do.
If he say I'll be back, he coming.
Authority. You better consider authority figures.
But the Bible tells
Parents,
you got to follow
police,
the laws.
Like you because they can have an effect. You respect them because they can make decisions that have an effect. You respect you highly consider that this can have an effect on your life. For you not to do that.
I'm not going out my way dialing 911, but I'm not going out my way to cause no problem for no one to dial 911 on me.
Self-respect.
Yeah.
Present yourself. That means highly consider yourself.
Yeah.
Give high regards to yourself.
Yeah. So
have some self-respect.
So your parents will be pulled.
Present yourself respectable. When you walk in the room, all the women and the children should feel safer.
Yeah, I agree.
Because a man walked in that room.
I agree.
So those three things.
Even some of the weak men to feel safe.
Exactly.
Because they're around.
It's a real man.
Yeah, they're around.
They could be in a room where it's a bunch of real niggas and a real man.
And see, it's a difference. See, I don't like niggas either. I'm glad you said
niggas respect the man.
Yeah, I don't like
niggas. Because he's the highest of the food.
Yeah, we making men. We ain't making no niggas.
The man is the highest of the community food chain.
Yeah, that's what all this is about, to destroy the man. They've been trying to destroy the black man.
They trying to destroy them having principles and having codes, man codes.
It's been like this since the beginning of the time.
Street code is different.
Oh yeah, I done played on both sides of the fence.
Media codes and all this, So the step 2, so 2.1.
Okay.
We into relationships now. So now when it comes to relationships, I kind of, just like the first 3 with manhood, I just took all the answers and all the stuff. You know how you say, you study this. This is how I came up with these, right? Yeah. I kept hearing these commonalities. That's how I came up, right? So 2.1, choose wisely. Because the woman that you choose is a reflection of you. So when you're with that woman, her spirit is a reflection of what you pouring into her. Her security, how she feels secure, like how she is in life is a reflection of you. So you want to choose somebody who's gonna mirror you, and the main thing in choosing wisely, because me being with my wife from 21 all the way until I was 40 when she passed, she got all my 20s, all my 30s then, so I'm 50, so the last 10 years I've been back single. I wrote these principles when I was still married. Okay. Me being back out here, I realized there's a lot of good women out here. Yes. But I'm looking for the right one.
It's not a lot of good dudes.
I'm looking for the right one now.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm gonna just have a whole bunch of good ones. But I'm looking for the right one to marry. So that right one, and me, I have to be wise in choosing that right one.
But I think if they standing on those principles that you said before, because that's how I ended up where I'm at, presenting yourself in a proper way, holding yourself
operating as a man first.
Operating as a man. You ain't gonna settle for no beautiful garbage can. A woman can be stacked like a just garbage.
Or it could be an edible arrangement.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't want no fruit.
And you don't want to.
It ain't right for you.
When you got your stuff together and you know you're a man. See, I know what I'm worth. I know what I bring to her. I know what I've poured into her, and vice versa. So it ain't no settling. And in the relationship, it has the key word in any relationship. I don't care if it's wife, girlfriend, brother. It's healthy. You got to know when the relationship has ran its course, and you got to know when to cut your ties. Because just because we share the same blood don't make us family. I got a lot of relatives. I got very few family. So the relationship has to be healthy. The key word with that relationship needs to be healthy in there somewhere. It has to be a healthy relationship. You have to know when it's not good for you, when it's toxic for you and toxic for her, and you gotta know when to cut your losses, because you're not gonna get it right the first time every time. You're not. And life and going through things should be experienced. And don't be no, you know what I don't like? I can't stand me old tender dick. I swear, man. If it ain't working, as a man, like before I got married, like I said, I'm on my second, I gracefully bowed out. It's all you. Because as a man, I'll be back. Because I know what tools I have. I know I can go remodel a kitchen and sleep for 30 days. You dig me? So don't be like that. Just let it go. Rebuild.
Stand on your
Stand on your own. And the best way I kill people, man, is when I turn my back on them. I don't have to get all rowdy and hollering and screaming and all that. Oh, you gonna do? Nah, man. I just turn around, and my non-paying attention to you always affects you, because a lot of people value what I stand on because they know I'm a man. You know, my nephews or whatever, or whoever, they value what I stand on. So
you're the strength of the community.
I am the strength. So it's definitely a blessing to bump into you. It's a blessing because, like I say, if we can get that one, you see, here go that one, there go that one. So if you go that way and I go that way, and we got the same curriculum, everybody gonna meet back here.
Right.
Because we all saying the same thing. But see,
so 2.2, right? The second one in the relationship column is, don't ask a woman to follow your lead until you know where
you going
first.
I like that.
That should stay.
I would really like that.
Why is that? Why is that important for them to have that as a principle?
Because it goes back to you. I love it because it's all going back to the one thing, and it's being responsible and accountability. If you know where you're going, you're responsible, you're accountable, you know where you're headed. So I can't ask you to follow me nowhere if I don't know where I'm going. I can't. So that 100% need to stay, because that can go so many ways, but only one way.
Yeah, it's simple too. To me, it's like, okay, I'm about to take a road trip. You want to ride with me? Where you going? No.
Yeah. Nobody know.
What if she don't want to go there? What if her plans is to go to Chicago and I'm going to New York?
Yeah.
She can't ride with me.
She can't. It's gonna be.
I need to know where I'm going first.
Yeah.
And then I know she's going in that same direction and want to go at the same pace.
If she's willing. Yeah. If she's willing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
If she's willing. Because a lot of them don't be willing.
You just hit number 3. You just hit 2.3.
Yeah.
So 2.3 is, so we good on.
We good on that. We good on 2.
2.3 is, and the way I worded it is to cause, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But love her, protect her, and test her. The way that you test her is you give her your truth. If she is willing to deal with your truth, then she is most likely the one for you.
You know, I'll take that.
So let me say this. Truth is connected to being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Transparency requires vulnerability. I have to let her in.
You just gave.
If you can let her in and she can handle who you are for real, and she know you crying in the shower type, and she know when you about to pop off, and she she know who you are for real.
She knows who I am for real.
And not only she can handle it, but she's willing to.
And
she's willing.
It's strange. it's divine intervention. You say that because every woman that I've ever been with, I was always dark side. I was always dark. She allowed me to be dark. She allowed me to be the cry. I've never cried in front of anybody. I was never vulnerable. I was never in my truth. So that
they couldn't experience your truth. You allowed,
yeah.
You kept people out of your truth.
Exactly. So that 2.3 there, that's 100% on the head.
Okay. So those three together,
those are nice. Now those there, those
okay. That they going.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because now they like, okay, as a man, the stuff I need to do for myself, these three. But okay, now I'm dealing with these women. Let me keep these three principles in front of me. Now with fatherhood. The first one is the best way to show support to your kids is spending time with them. That's the best way.
Okay.
You can give money and never get, oh, I'm sorry. As Big Hurt just added.
Yeah.
Quality time.
Quality time.
Because I said, and the principle was, spending time with your kids is the best way to show support for your kids and that you got their back. He said spending quality time.
And I agree with her because you know what's worse than the absentee father. You know what's worse than the father who ain't there?
One that's there on some bull.
One that's there who ain't present.
Yeah.
So quality time, I totally agree. But
and I asked him, and I'm gonna ask you the same thing. When the last time you seen the daddy outside playing catch with his son?
Oh man, it's been a while, brother. Years. The daddies now, they only like 13 years older than their son, so they all like that.
Everybody in the room.
Yeah, they all like that. You ever walked into a house and seen the whole house and they all was like, you like, hey, what's going on? They all like. So yeah, it has to be quality time. It has to be meaningful, reasonable time, because time is precious. We're running out of it. So I totally agree with Big Ray.
Because you know, I lost my wife 10 years ago. When I lost my wife, my baby boy was 12. My three oldest that I had all at the same time, they 10 years apart, so they was 22, right? So the last 10 years, I became a single father when she passed. So the last 10 years, him going from 12 to 22, last year I became an empty nester.
Okay.
And I had to go see a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like
because ever since I was 18, I had
somebody there.
Now I had people depending on me.
Okay. Yeah.
I had 3 kids all at one time.
And we worked better with
I
that.
had 3 kids at
18 years old.
So that means I have purpose. I got 3 kids, and it was my goal to. One thing I said is I'm gonna raise my kids together, no matter what. I'm not gonna leave my wife, and I'm gonna raise my kids to where because they got different mothers, and I put them in this situation. I'm gonna raise them like they was, and all their mamas got along. You know what I'm saying? We did it it was hard, bro.
Oh yeah, of course.
It was hard. 2004, I was $104,000 in arrears.
Ooh. And
that's when I said, this shit ain't right. I ain't even made this for y'all to even y'all got me. And I just started fighting it. I started reading it, and I started going, no lawyer, just going in there, and because accountability for mine. I started taking care of my business. Because it's not minding my own business. That was my business.
It don't acquire debt until you run from it.
$140,000 debt because
you ran from it.
Want to handle that's my business.
That's your business.
So I started minding my own business, putting my mind to the end. So the time, I'm sorry, but the time I said that to say the emptiness, all my kids grown, my wife is gone, nobody's checking for me. And I have been so used to distributing love. Now I got all this love, who do I give it to?
I don't know who to give.
My kids grown, they doing their own thing. They got, and my grandkids, they're their kids, so they got them.
It's part-time love.
They got them active. They doing their thing. They loving on their kids because the way so they loving on them. So I get them sometimes.
You get the leftovers.
But then because I was living like this for so long, bro, I realized, you know what I'm saying, the value of time. So if I did have kids again, because you can't get that time back. Mm-hmm. That's why no matter what, I was broke with my kids. Like, man, I'm so glad you did that.
Yeah. All
that time. Yeah. You picked us up all over every weekend and dropped us off. It take us hours just to get dropped off, but you put and I can't, now that they all gone, I don't regret going and not chasing the money. No. And giving my kids that time. I don't regret not doing it. You feel me? Because I can't get it back now. There's and they, you know what I'm saying? And just to hear them say they glad that was the choice I made.
Because I made the complete opposite. And it took my daughter to slap me in the face of reality when she told me one day, I don't know how verbatim, you think money fixes everything. I was the total opposite. I thought, if I could pay for it, I'm gone.
We think a lot of times,
I'm gone.
That's why child support is not supporting a child.
Yeah, exactly.
And supporting a child from a child's eyes. My wife helped me to that. My wife told me when my daughter was 12, so me and my wife's son was 2.
Okay.
So, and me and her mama used to argue over child support, my daughter's mother. And my daughter said, I used to hate when my mama and my daddy used to argue over child support. She's like, I didn't want to hear that from my daddy. I didn't want to hear what his mama was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just gave y'all this and this and that. He's like, she said, I just wanted my daddy
to be my dad.
And I stopped. My daughter's 12 years old. I stopped speaking anything negative about child support. I didn't mention it to my daughter. I didn't, and it changed my relationship with her because I didn't put her in the middle of it.
It wasn't her business.
You feel me? So it was something that changed me, but it also made the time that we spent more quality because I'm not.
We ain't talking about this, and I ain't harboring that in the back of my head.
Even if I am.
But you said a bunch of times. I'm
gonna give her some quality time, my baby girl.
You say you have to mind your business.
Yeah.
I like that as a slogan, but not M-I-N-D. It's like minding your business. If you're minding, you're working on your business. So that could be like a catchphrase, but to be minding your business. I love that. Because if you're minding your business, you're working on you. You're working on your business, nobody else's business. So not when people, you need to manage your own. No, you need to mind it. Mind your own business. So I like that. I like that.
Yeah, so that's the shirt that you go put on.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. You came up with like 2 or 3
no, we agree. Hey, look, we agree.
But this is how we come.
Yeah, we all gonna have them.
This is how. Yep. And they seen it.
Yeah. Just pop up like that. Yep.
Watching this watching this real men in real time.
Yep. And
then once together and develop something.
So when I see that, I'm next time I see you, I'm gonna have that.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure,
I'm gonna have one for you.
Right, and I'm gonna be selling them for you.
Yeah.
I'm from you at a nice price.
We're gonna put it all in there.
It goes circulate.
Yeah, we're gonna put it back because this is exactly what the people need, the culture need. Yeah. They don't need no more tough thug rap.
It's enough of it.
Yeah, they don't need no more.
It ain't enough of this.
It ain't none of this.
No.
So they don't
some out there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna swing to that right after this too.
Okay.
So the second one, 3.2, is role modeling.
Okay.
Meaning showing boys how to be men and also showing daughters what a man looks like. You know what I mean? Is that a principle that why they in their father role, something that they should keep at the forefront of their mind?
Yeah.
And why is that important?
It's important because the female child, the mother, the woman itself, she's the mother. She's the first love of us all. You fall down, you get a scrape, she's the doctor. You want to learn something, she's teaching you. So you have to be responsible and be mindful so you can protect the woman, so there can be other men makers, because you ain't making no baby. I ain't seen no man get no birth in my lifetime. And if we want this to continue, we have to bottom line protect the woman. But I say that, and I'm not saying all females are women either.
You talking about daughters though?
Yeah, we have to.
We on parents.
Yeah, we're gonna protect our daughters and teach them. Show them exactly what needs to be done as a man. If you're doing, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you know, it's like the Oedipus. You know, your daughter's first love is her father anyway. So if you walk around with your pants on the ground, you got a pistol hanging out your back pocket, who's she looking for? She looking for Ray too.
And if you walking around with principles that you stand on.
I ain't never seen my dad. My daddy only wore jeans on the weekend. My daddy always dressed up. She gonna follow who she was known after. And then and as young men, we have to protect those daughters who were groomed to have men with.
And show boys how to do it.
Yes, sir.
How to beat that. So it's just, and that one's so simple. It's like, how else would they know how to be a man if we ain't showing them what it is? And, you know what I mean? And then the 3.3 is, you know, the male's duty when it comes to protecting their spirit.
Okay.
The spirit part of them. We don't want their spirits to be broken. So because as kids, they don't know what will break their spirit. So we got to kind of do our best to, as men. So
you saying, what do we do as men?
No, I'm saying as a principle.
Okay.
If you're a young father,
okay,
or if you're just a father, period, look at protecting the spirit of your child as something that must be done. It's a principle that you have. Those are the three. If you ain't standing on nothing else, these three are foundational. This whole 9 is our foundation.
Okay.
You feel me? And if it's anything we can add to it or take from it, I'm starting with the 9.
Okay.
You feel me? And so let's just go feed them a whole bunch of content.
Yeah.
These particular principles.
But they all go back to those 9.
Everything is the 9.
Yeah, no matter if you find 100 different things.
Something that I'm using as foundation, but I live by my own creed, and but I attached it to men makers, and I say men makers of Detroit believe that a real man is a man who is fully aware of his responsibilities and actively attempting to fulfill those responsibilities without complaining or quitting. Also, he communicate and handle his business without any lying, trickery, or deceit. His yes will mean yes, and his no will mean no. Furthermore, he understands that he is a role model, playing a role of a leader, protector, and provider for his family, his community, and himself. Overall, a real man is true to himself.
I like that.
And willing to face himself on a daily basis with the hopes, humility, and honesty that will allow him to live a purposeful, productive, honorable life. That's what I say to myself.
Yeah,
that's my mantra. That's something that is just in me at all times. It's 4 short paragraphs, you know what I mean? And whenever I'm feeling some type of way, this is my creed. You know what I'm saying? Those are my principles, but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These is what I'm teaching, this
keep you on that straight.
Yeah. This keep me.
Because you would jump off the track.
Because they actually the same,
but they're different.
I just worded them different.
Yeah.
You feel me? This is like my belief. These are the teachables. These are the game we go. You feel me? So that's what, and it came out of that slick shit when she said, "What's a real man?"
Yeah.
And I didn't have an answer. That's where the principles came. I went on a pursuit.
Wow, she sparks up now.
I went on a pursuit because I said I got 5 sons.
You better know what a real man.
I'm not. Not only a player, but I'm the player president now. I done wrote this down for y'all.
Yeah.
I did not only living it. I'm writing it down and passing it to my kids, right? And I let them know I'm still
learning,
struggle on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm learning with
to keep these principles. Now I have to do these, stand on this stuff at 50. So, and now over 50, I've decided to see where God take me when I'm connecting these principles with other real men and stand-up men, and just because I believe
it look and feel different.
But I also believe, and I also realize, it is a different world.
It is.
And content is currency. But not only that, it's power. Mm-hmm. And what's being shoved out. We need to balance this. And we need real men to stand there. Y'all gonna give us a platform. Yeah. We can do what everybody else doing.
We do the same thing.
And we gonna do it in a real way. So to get specific, the whole earth divided by water, these lands divided by water, and this, I Googled this, it's like 7.8 billion people on the earth. And how I do this? No, the numbers is changing while you watching it. Like Google know how many people die and live at the same time. But it's 7.8 billion stories. And then you got all these countries. And then you got the United States. Then you got 50 states. They're not really united. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good, but the people ain't. How we deal with each other, we're not united. But then you got the mitten. And then in that little bitty thumb knuckle, that little place. Yeah. That's us. Yeah. So that little bitty dot, we're gonna show y'all what the strength of our community about, because it's global. The game is about to be sold, not told. We're gonna tell y'all, but what we're gonna do is y'all have an ideal of Detroit men, but we gonna give y'all an ideal of Detroit men. We go show y'all. Yeah. Like we showing them right now how solid we are. And that's all they want to see. You feel me? That's what's being sold.
And it looks better when it comes from us. Mm-hmm. Somebody you know that's been there. You know what I mean? I used to think, it's an old cliche, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I used to think that was just some shit that people say. Now I'm the poster boy for if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm the poster boy for it now.
And I know if he can do it, I can do it.
And you know how many guys look at me? Listen, man, I got married July 16th, man, and I had some of the toughest guys at my wedding. You hear me? Mm-hmm. From inside the wall, outside the wall. Do you know they always in there crying, man? Mm-hmm. In tears, trying to wipe them off his hat. They all in there crying. Because it came from me. They seen it. They like, oh, he did it.